Hey there, Crochet Nation. It's your girl Tracy here, and I'm coming to you today with a little talk about the pandemic, what that's done for crafting, what it's done for us as crafters, and what it's been doing to our bodies. So we all know we've all hit the quarantine 15. That's okay. It's kind of like the freshman 15. We'll get rid of it when we're ready to get rid of it. Don't worry about it. But what I do want to talk about today is crafting, which has had a really huge explosion in the last year. I'm seeing all kinds of people that I never thought would touch a craft in their life, suddenly learning new crafts, new tools, new tips, new tricks. Maybe you're someone that's like me that's been crocheting for 42 years. Yes, I learned when I was 8. Don't do the math. Thank you. Um, Maybe you're teaching new people, maybe you're giving classes, maybe you're trying to keep the kids busy on the weekends when there's really nothing else to do. And what that's done, especially for people like us that do crafting on a regular basis, is it's taken its toll on our body, and we're experiencing some real big issues with pain. I've got a couple of other videos on some exercises for not only your hands, but your shoulders and arms. These are helpful no matter what kind of crafting you do, whether it's sculpting, modeling clay. That's been a huge explosion of popularity in the past year. Knitting, beading, jewelry, crocheting, whatever you do, at some point in time, you're going to experience some pain. So, about a year ago, it was suggested to me, because I was doing so much crocheting all the time, hours and hours and hours every day, to maybe get some compression gloves, because I was at the point of having to have carpal tunnel surgery, something I've been avoiding like the plague for many, many years. But the numbness, the damage I had already been done. So without having to have surgery, I figured, you know what, I'm going to try and find something that will help to allow me to go ahead and continue crafting, but also alleviate some of the pain. So I went on a mission to try compression gloves. I tried probably 4 or 5 different brands, some really expensive, some not so expensive, some recommended by a doctor, some not recommended by a doctor. None of them worked until I found this one particular brand that for me works amazing. So I'm here today to do a little review and show you how they work and how they work with yarn, because I know that's been kind of a worry with, compression gloves. They tend to be a little slippery. That was my biggest complaint with most of the compression gloves, is that they did not have anything to prevent slippage. It was like wearing slippery latex all day long, which not only makes you sweat, heat in the summer in Northern California is no joke, but it also wreaked havoc on my tension. Whether you're going to be knitting or crocheting or beading or whatever, you're going to have issues if it's slipping through your hands faster than you can make it work for you, even if they're the kind that has the fingerless. We don't crochet like this, and we don't knit like this. We crochet with our hands, with this part of our hands. So you needed something to help. Slippery just wasn't cutting it. And that was my biggest complaint with 99% of them, is that they were too slippery. Now, the brand that I settled on, that I've been using for the last year, that I actually put some time, effort, and energy into wearing. I've washed them, I've worn them, I've crafted with them, so that I could give you a good, comprehensive review of how they work. I didn't just wear them once and go, oh, they're fabulous, and then never wear them again. I put some time into these. So I've had these for almost a year. Well, a little over a year, actually. I bought them last February. But these are the Copperfit XL brand. I don't have the box anymore, so I took a picture of it so you can see. I'll have that as my preview on the video. But the box got a little mangled, so I had to throw it away before I could make the video, but that's okay. They're easy to find. They're sold at most of the as shown on TV places like CVS, Walgreens, Rite Aid, things like that, Target, most of your big box stores. I found these for right around $20, and being the coupon queen that I am, I had a 40% off coupon, plus I had some extra bucks, so I really didn't pay much for these at all. I think I paid like $8 after all was said and done, which, awesome. So one of the neat features of these is that they're so super thin and lightweight that even in the summertime, I don't have a problem crafting. They're not too hot. I get hot fast, and that's it. I can't cool down, it seems like. Even if I'm in air conditioning, I'm sitting here going like this. And if you're crafting, it's even worse. But with these, I didn't experience that. It did not make my hands sweat. I didn't have any problems with stinky, you know, because they're gloves. They're going to stink after a while, especially if you're wearing them over and over and over again for hours on end. When that happens, and, you know, if they get a little messy, if you get food on them or whatever, you know, pick up something you shouldn't pick up, or pet the dog, throw them in the washer, dry them. They're fine. They have this really awesome little ridge all the way up from the top to the bottom. This is where the copper is, but for me, I call this my tension guide, because this helps me to keep the tension when I'm working with my yarn nice and even and smooth. I don't have to worry about the tension being off, too loose, too tight, whatever. It's the same as it always was, no problem. These are really easy to put on. They've got a little Velcro. You can make them as tight or as loose as you want. I go for a medium tightness just to keep them on. I don't really need them super tight, but they're good firm fit, but they're not too tight. They don't cut off the circulation. And they are fingerless gloves, so you get that tactility that you need, tactile strength that you need in your fingertips when you need it. You're not covered from tip to toe. So I'm going to take my gloves off and my eyeglasses off for this, because I wanted to show you, I started a little granny square just to show you that when you're crocheting with these on, it really is no difference in how they work, how the yarn works, how the hooks work. I've tried every kind of hook imaginable, from the cheapy, you know, Susan Bates boy hooks, the standard ones that you can find at most of your dollar stores, to the really expensive ones from Furls, ergonomic, not ergonomic. Nothing really helped, not long term, even with taking breaks, even with doing the stretching exercises and things that I, you know, do. Nothing helped long term. This is the only thing that I have found that helps me long term with the pain of my hands. So just to show you how nice and smooth and even the tension is, did a few stitches here. And as you can see, nice and smooth, nice even stitching. It doesn't snag, it doesn't catch, it runs right over, no problem. It does feel a little bit funky until you get used to it, but once you get used to it, it took me about 5 minutes, to be honest with you, the first time that I used them, and then I was off and running, and now I can crochet for hours on end with minimal pain. I tend to go kind of balls to the wall and, you know, really hit it hard when I hit it hard. I don't really recommend doing that without taking breaks in between, but you know, when you get that groove and you're going and going and going, and then suddenly you look up and 2 hours has gone by and you're like, oh my gosh, I can't move my shoulders, my arms, my hands. Yeah, guilty. We're all guilty. But just in last statements, these have helped me a lot. Check them out. If you have questions, comments, suggestions, let me know. Find me on Instagram as well as Etsy and Facebook. Number one, Crochet Nation. I'm also a member of the Yarn Wars group on Facebook. Awesome group, lots of people, lots of fun. And the Knitting Machine Queens group, totally drama free, which is amazing when it comes to Facebook. Lots of fun there too. So find me there, and thanks for watching. And if you want to subscribe, I would love it if you would. Thanks for watching. Bye guys.